Good morning. It's weird. I didn't bother checking the weather because it's Florida. It's May. It's hot, right? So I straightened my hair because this is the first time I've done this in a while, and put my makeup on and put on shoes that aren't Chacos and threw a little slip dress on, and I walked outside and it is 60 degrees, which for Florida is relatively cool, and it's sprinkling / raining. And all these people in line to get gas. Good God. With big old tanks to fill up. Jesus. Anywho, what is today? Thursday. If you didn't already, Tuesday I shared Maintenance Phase, their most recent episode release. If you haven't gone and listened to that yet, I highly recommend that you do. It's discussing like the QAnon wellness pipeline, which is really important. And I think it's really important for several reasons, but the biggest one being that if you are in this body positivity realm, and I mean realm, and like we know there's differences between fat activism, body liberation, fat justice, and body positivity and self-love. But if you're in this realm, you might happen to notice that there are influencers, and not just influencers, but influencers specifically that get caught up in this same pattern. So I do think it's very interesting because I could think of a couple people off the top of my head that have definitely taken on in the past like 2 years or so, have definitely taken on a lot of the attitudes that are actually part of QAnon. And for sure those people wouldn't think that they were part of QAnon. Anyway, there's a lot to it, so I highly encourage you to listen to the episode. Decide for yourself what you think of it, but also it's just informative so that you know what you're looking for. It goes back to what I always say to people, which is that you should always curate who you follow. You should curate your feed, so that you're not following somebody who is promoting diet culture, or so you're not following somebody who is promoting unrealistic lifestyle or beauty standards. Not because that makes them a horrible human being, but because that makes your difficult to your journey to either self-love or body positivity or fat activism, fat justice, body liberation. It makes all of those journeys a lot harder when you're following people that continue to propagate the diet culture mentality. And honestly, there are so many ways that diet culture is insidious. It sneaks in various ways, and the most on trend way for it to sneak in right now is through the wellness industry. And of course, we have all of those people who are simultaneously claiming to be body positive while also being deeply ingrained in the wellness industry and diet culture language, and language that is frankly fat phobic, anti-fat rhetoric, however you'd like to describe it. The point is that they think they are one thing, or they profess to be one thing. I do think a lot of these people don't realize just how hypocritical, contradictory, two-faced their messages are. And then I think sometimes maybe these people do realize it, and it's just, it brings them money. This is how they make money, or power or notoriety or whatever it is that's valuable. And that seems more important to them. And I like to try to think on the bright side of it, on the optimistic side, and be like, I just don't think they know. I think they just don't know. But after a while, I stop having that attitude about certain people because of the fact that it's clear that they have seen people leaving them messages, or seen people, or they've engaged in conversations where it's clear that they have gotten the message that what they're doing is wrong or problematic, but they want to continue to create space for that same problematic or harmful rhetoric and behavior, regardless of the fact that people more marginalized than themselves have said, hey, what you're doing is not helpful, it's actually harmful. So if you go and you listen to the episode and in your mind you think that that might be so-and-so, or that might be so-and-so, or it might be this account, or that seems like what this brand has been doing, or whatever, it's just something to kind of be on your radar so that you can keep an eye out for it. I'm not saying that you personally have to unfollow everyone who comes out with messages like that, because we're all our own individuals and we all want to hear what we want to hear, I suppose. But I do think that it is really important, is a really important part of the practice of body liberation. And when I say body liberation in this context, I mean everything from the journey of body neutrality to body positivity and self-love and fat activism and fat justice, fat liberation, all of those things. I think it is really important for people to know and understand that, like, that's a practice. You don't just get there one day. You're not just there. It's a practice. And there are a lot of things that you have to do to keep the, sorry, that's the really cute crossing guard again. There's a lot of things that you have to do to continue to stay on the alert, to remind yourself that you're on a journey. You're on a journey to kick diet culture. You're on a journey to stop feeling so negative about your body, when society all around you is really rooting for you to not feel good about yourself. And so you do have to keep your eye out. You have to be aware that a lot of the stuff that you're being told and a lot of the stuff that you're being shown has these underlying currents, these messages in them. And that means that some of your favorite influencers are not only going to slip up sometimes, that happens, but some are going to get sucked into a little bit of a rabbit hole, and they are going to take their 1 million or 500,000 or 100,000 or 10,000, however many followers they've got. They're going to take a lot of them for a ride. And that is a scary thing. It's just another reminder that, we're human, and it's really important that not only do we do research into things and not just take our favorite person's word for it. That includes me. Don't take my word for everything. Good God, please don't. But that we do the research, that we look into things, that we see if it makes sense, that we assess what we think we inherently know, and that we take the information that is available to us and come up with a practice that whenever we see somebody spitting something out that is anti-diet culture, and then the next day they're spitting out stuff that's diet culture, and they're still trying to say their messages are aligned, whether you want to call them out on it or not is up to you, but that you are aware that it's happening, and that you are conscious of whether you want to be subjected to that very confusing messaging, or the hypocritical messaging, or conflicting, however you want to phrase that. So that's what's up. That's what I've got for today while I wait in my Dunkin' line. And again, go listen to the episode. I think the episode's great. I mean, of course, it does not cover everything that you could possibly catch in these messages, but I think it really breaks down. One, if you don't know anything about QAnon, then that's helpful. But two, if you do know something about it and you kind of just don't understand the pipeline between QAnon and wellness culture, it's really helpful. All right, I love y'all. I'm gonna stop chatting. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.